Okay, so we got all your information done for you. So the lube and oil filter, diagnostic electric concerns cluster. So we've done that. What we've done out of that, we found out that you do need to replace your fuse panel under the hood, which we've started. Airbag, clock spring we need to do. You've declined that so far, but it is a safety concern. So I'm just going over this. I think you should get that done because your airbags might not go off with that error on there. It is a safety concern there, but that's up to you guys what you want to do. Mount, install, and balance 6 tires. So ignore the 6 tires. So what we've done is we put it to 0. So we're not balancing any tires right now. We left this, we could do all your tires or we could do 0 tires. But we just left this on for the wheel studs, for the Dorman lug nuts and all of that. So put all the wheel studs and everything on. The 2 rims, so supply and install the 2 new rims there is $751.04. The alignment, we need to do the alignment, which is $145. Disc brakes, pads, rotors, and all that. So we don't need brake pads. They're good, so you'll see it's zeroed out, so no pads are needed. Brake rotors, we've zeroed out. You don't need the rotors are good. Now we pulled off the tire. You do need brake caliper. You need 2 of them, so we only put 1 on here, so it's going to be actually $290.94 more because we forgot to put 2. You do change them in pairs, so we just have to edit that. So I just see that's an error right there. 1 rear right manufacturer brake caliper dual. Oh, sorry, never mind. This is right because one's a right, one's a left. So you do have both here, so it's going to be this price. The hardware kit, we zeroed that out because the hardware kit's fine. Wheel seal, we will be replacing wheel seal, so it's $1,056.86. Brake fluid system flush, so we always flush the system when we're doing the calipers. So it's just $100, so you get a full new brake fluid there. Shock absorber front, so that's your shocks and all that fun stuff. 2 shocks is $163 per unit, so you're looking at with labor and everything $505.84. Your shocks were actually broken, which we showed you in the video. You can grab them and they go back, it's completely off. They're just sitting inside the springs there. The bottom's still attached, but the top's not attached at all, so the shocks are doing nothing. They're completely broken. If you get pulled over, they will put you out of service for that. Suspension control arm upper. So if you're going to do the wheel alignment, we would do this, or we just get rid of this, get rid of the upper. But you can see in the video, we were shaking the front end. It's completely loose. It needs to be done. Suspension ball joint lower, same thing. That goes over to here. So the lower, the wheel bearing and hub assembly. So the hub assembly was because the tire was almost falling off, it's actually eaten into the hub assembly. So we need to throw in a new hub assembly, labor and everything's $448 there. Engine shampoo, if you go with any repair, we're just gonna shampoo the actual top of the engine and the bottom. That's all included, no charge there. So to do everything that we just discussed would be $8,450.51. The one thing to note, if you do everything, you should do all your tires and then you're good for the whole winter. We would just add it, they're $278.57 each. But like I say, don't put new tires on if you're not gonna fix the suspension. You shouldn't be driving with the ball joints like they are because the tire's really loose. So you should do that. So everything I've quoted you here is what I believe you should do. The deferred work I have over on my desk here that you can wait until later. So the deferred work here, this is your deferred work. Your deferred work is your automatic transmission oil cooler hose line, transmission fluid filter service. So this should be done at some point, but we'll do the shampoo, see if it's actually leaking or just sweating a little bit. If it's just sweating a little bit, we can get away with that. We don't know where this automatic transmission fluid filter service, that it smells a little off, but you can get away with doing that later. We can check at your next oil change. Engine oil pan slightly leaking. It's just slightly leaking. I wouldn't even worry about it. It's a big job, so don't worry about that at all. We'll shampoo it, see if it's actually leaking, see if we can just tighten it a little bit. But until we give it a shampoo, we won't know because there's oil kind of everywhere. It just hasn't been shampooed. Power steering fluid flush. There's no power steering fluid in your system, so that's why we recommended that. Your heater, so you have a heater down in below, kind of like a block heater, but it works off the van, and you just hit a button. I don't think it's getting used. It might be, not sure, but it's leaking a little bit of coolant. It's just dripping right now, so we'll clean it up and see if it's actually leaking or if it's like a loose fitting. So when we do the shampoo, we'll look at that, but we just want to let you know that. Heater general service is that. So we can actually remove that heater if you're not using it. So that would be the cost to remove it and connect everything. But once we shampoo it, next service, we can take a look at that. Shock absorber, rear, replace comment. So your rear shocks, they're wearing out, but you're all right for now. We'll take a look at them at next oil change, see if they're actually an issue. Like I said, we're going to clean underneath, so it'll be nice and clean for you. Steering gear. So your steering gearbox was completely empty, so we filled it up. Next oil change, we'll see if it leaks or if something's going on with it or if it just had a loose fitting. But we got to shampoo it to see because it's like a 1/4 inch of gunk on it, so we can't really see what's going on with it. But we will top it back up for you, and then next oil change, we'll take a look at it. So deferred works at $6,638.33, and then that would mean your vehicle's up to par with all of this work. Obviously, once we do all the shampooing and everything, if there's any hitting issues under there, that would tell us that. Thank you.